After exploring Beartown Rocks, I am now at Clear Creek State Park. The park office is located at the entrance to the park. At the park you will see CCC architecture. That stands for Civilian Conservation Corps, and they were active in the mid-1930s. Young men between the ages of 18 and 24 built cabins, made roads, and built hiking trails. Here's a history lesson. Clear Creek State Park became a state park in 1964. During the 19th century, the area was heavily logged. Settlers came here for the resources. Bracket dams were built in order to raise water levels. This way, logs were able to be floated to mills where they were cut into boards. By the turn of the century, the area was void of trees. Erosion happened as the land was abandoned. In the 1930s, the Civilian Conservation Corps, known as the CCC, restored the land. They built cabins, trails, bridges, and roads. The young men planted trees to help the forest regenerate. Today, the park attracts Water on the dam
visitors
looks
to
very low.
hike, swim, picnic, and fish.
The beach is open from Memorial Day to Labor Day. From my experience, the water is ice cold. And that's because the creek runs through the forest and doesn't receive much sun. Therefore, it doesn't have a chance to warm up. Here's one of the picnic shelters at Clear Creek State Park. And the shelters can be reserved up until 11 months in advance. There's a grill and a sand volleyball court. You want to bring your own food and drink because there are no concessions at this beach. It's a beautiful view of Clear Creek. And as you can see, the creek is in the shade and it doesn't have a chance to warm up. And then these bridges are throughout the park. This is a popular place to fish. I will warn you, my kids did see a snake here last summer. They were fishing on the pavilion and they saw a snake slithering by. So just be on the lookout. And there is a trail that takes you around the man-made lake. This is dammed up to create a swimming area. Here's a beautiful drive through Clear Creek State Park. I do want to point out, this road is no winter maintenance in the winter. I did see a sign near the park office, and I just want to let you know. Now we are entering the cabin area, and these cabins were built in the 1930s by the CCC. And I did explain earlier in the video what that stands for, Civilian Conservation Corps. And these cabins are rustic cabins. They do not have running water or bathrooms, but there is a nearby bathhouse. There is also a campground here too. I did stay here in June of 2021. And these trees were all planted by the CCC. There's a lot of people at the campground, probably because it's Columbus Day weekend. So a lot of people have a 3-day weekend. And it's been a beautiful weekend too. Right here is the entrance to the river trail. This is one of my favorite hikes at Clear Creek State Park. I'm just going to walk down this gravel driveway and past the yurts. Here's a yurt, and right across is a porta potty. The yurts have a fire pit and a grill. They sleep about 6 people, and there's a nice deck on the back that overlooks the Clarion River. That'd be great to wake up to. Enjoy your morning coffee or tea or whatever you drink. I will point out that the trailhead is difficult to find, but how I found it is by these yellow blazes. So the trail is blazed in yellow, so you want to follow these blazes. And blazes are like guide signs on a highway. They tell you which direction to go. Got several blowdowns here. Just gonna go ahead and step over them. And we are on the river trail. And I'm doing this hike counterclockwise. I step over another blowdown. Straddle the tree. There we go. And again, my usual spiel. There's a lot of rocks and exposed roots on this trail, so you want to watch your step and wear sturdy footwear, like a hiking boot or a sturdy athletic shoe. Stay away from flip-flops, canvas shoes, sandals, ballet flats, stilettos, and what's the new shoe? They look really comfy. I think they're called Hey Dudes. Yeah, Hey Dudes. They look comfortable, but they're not suitable for a rocky hiking trail. Are you familiar with the sitcom The Brady Bunch? If so, this park is like the Jan Brady of the parks. And I call it that because Cook Forest State Park is only 15 minutes away. Clear Creek State Park gets overlooked by Cook Forest State Park. Just like on the Brady Bunch, Jan was in Marcia's shadow. Marcia got all the attention, just like Cook Forest. On the show, both Marcia and Jan were equally as beautiful, just like both Clear Creek State Park and Cook Forest State Park are equally as beautiful. It's always Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. I couldn't resist saying that. That's one of my favorite shows, by the way. And there are 25 miles of hiking trail here at Clear Creek State Park. They range from easy to more difficult. And the river trail, the one I'm hiking on right now, is in the easy range. And this is about 0.9 of a mile. And this is a loop trail, so I'm doing it counterclockwise. Here's a beautiful scene. The sun shining through the forest. The lighting is just perfect today. Just enough to give everything a glow. There are plenty of rhododendrons along this trail, and this trail traverses through hardwood and evergreen forest. Here's some new growth forest, little saplings. And it's relatively quiet along this trail. You don't hear hum of traffic or trucks. All you hear
is the wind, the river, and sounds of nature. One day these saplings are going to go up to be old growth forest. See how this smaller sapling is near this taller tree. It's almost like big and little. It's like that taller tree is looking out for the smaller one. And these trees are all considered new growth. This forest probably has been around for the past 100 years, because at the turn of the 20th century, this was all logged. These hills were bare, because this was in the heart of the lumber region. Lots of new growth. In 100 years, these trees are going to be really tall. I won't be around to see them. It'll be 2122. It's hard to think that far ahead. Here's a clearing in the forest. So wherever there's a clearing, you got a lot of weeds and brush, because this area now receives more sunlight. And you can see succession happening right now with the little saplings. You probably learned about succession in high school biology. Usually the time frame is about 100 years. It could be an empty field and it takes 100 years or so for it to become a forest. I'm trying to think back to 10th grade biology. The trail is a little narrow in some spots. But nothing we can't handle. Hey, we have the letter V. So if you're hiking with small children, you can point out that's the letter V. See how nature is a great teacher? It's very hands-on, and I feel hands-on is the best way to learn. So my advice, try to get your kids outdoors as much as possible, because nature is a fantastic classroom. That is just adorable. There's a little sapling growing out of the rock. It's so cute. And there are some boulders along the river trail. That one's a huge boulder. If you want to see more boulders, Beartown Rocks is nearby. And there are a lot of ferns along this trail, and the ferns are starting to turn yellow. And here is a slight elevation change. I'm going to be going downhill. That is why I hike this trail counterclockwise. And I feel because of the elevation change and the exposed roots and rocks, I think this should be included in more difficult. But hey, it's nothing I can't handle. I've done a lot steeper elevation changes. Now as you hike on this trail, you can see views of the Clarion River. Okay, we're going to hike down the hillside through a path of ferns. And I stayed here last summer, and when I hiked this trail in June 2021, I hiked it at 7 in the morning, and it was just so beautiful with the sun coming through the trees and the fog along the river. So if you're hiking this trail clockwise, this is a pretty steep elevation change. Such a beautiful day for hiking. Bugs aren't an issue, which is nice. It's like this tree is standing on stilts. Here we come to a fork in the trail. If you want to extend your hike, you can always hike the Irish Rock Trail. Then the Irish Rock Trail is a connector trail. So this here is the Irish Rock Trail, and this was once a logging road. It connects the river and boundary trails. If I had more time, or if I was spending the night, I would definitely hike the Irish Rock Trail. Okay, the trail runs parallel with the Clarion River, and we are walking through a path of ferns. Reminds me of a fairy tale. Got the river out there. Here's a nice view of the Clarion River, and as you can see, the water is quite low. It's been a very dry summer. Here's a nice view of the Clarion River. And this is why this trail is named the River Trail, because it runs along the... And we're coming up to one of my favorite sections on the trail. I love walking through the tunnel of evergreens. And I can feel the temperature is a little bit colder than it was up on the hill. Not that much colder, just a little bit. Oh, that is a beautiful tree. Wow. It's just beautiful. Here's where the trail gets up close and personal with the river. Just want to watch your footing. So like tracks from a deer. I did see some deer earlier, but they were too quick. I couldn't get them on camera. So you just want to watch your footing. You don't want to fall in and get wet. Oh, it's just beautiful, the scenery. And as you can see, the river is quite low. There's a nice tunnel of trees. Yeah, here the trail is very narrow. I bet next week that hillside's going to be beautiful with shades of yellows, reds, and oranges. Here is another fork in the trail. We want to go left. I am going to go right. I just want to get some amazing shots of the river. I'm just going to spend a few minutes admiring the view before I get back on the trail. Okay, it's back on the trail, and I know I'm getting close because I can see the decks of the yurts. Just going to climb up this little hillside and head back to the parking area. And the ground is kind of bumpy here, so just watch your step. Almost like camel humps. There we go. Actually, it looks like the trail was rerouted to the route I just took. As you can see by the yellow blazes, the upper part is pointing right, so you want to stay to the right. And if the upper part of the blaze is pointing left, you go left. So yeah, this is definitely rerouted. Yeah, here's the old trail. I completed the loop on the river trail. It was a lovely hike on this beautiful fall day. I am in the camping area now. You can either bring your RV or pitch a tent. Some sites do include electricity for an extra cost. It's a nice, beautiful stone arch bridge. You can hear the relaxing, babbling brook. There's a nice, relaxing view of the creek. The campsite I stayed in June 2021 was up on the hill, and it was so nice waking up to the sound of the creek. Here's where Clear Creek flows into the Clarion River. Doing a trip down memory lane, but this was our campsite in June 2021, campsite 47. And this was in fact my first time camping, and I loved it. And nearby is the trailhead to the Clear Creek Trail. So if I had more time, I would definitely hike that trail again. The Clear Creek Trail is 1.9 miles and it runs the length of the park. Do camp out. The bathhouse is straight ahead. They have showers and bathrooms. And I thought they were very clean. This is the Nature Lumbering Museum. Looks like it's open, so I'm going to take a look inside. Got Smokey. And here's where you can get maps of the park. And this explains the CCC. And these were some of the tools used by the CCC. Got a turbine and wrought iron nails, and these were used in and this building I am in right now is built by the CCC. Okay, I'm gonna head out. And then CCC structures usually have the white and the brown stripes. That's how you can tell them apart. And these were all built in the 1930s. This trail here is the Ox Shoe Trail, and it's a self-guided trail, so if you have time, you might want to read all the markers. It explains the lumber industry and the tools that they used. And here's one such marker. And this trail looks like it's relatively easy. So this is great for small children. Here is one of many bridges in the park, and this trail connects to the Clear Creek Trail. This is so peaceful and serene. We all need to take a break from our busy lives. I enjoyed my day at Clear Creek State Park on this beautiful fall afternoon. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you for watching.